It's good day, everybody. Welcome to the 6 weeks foundation workshop organized by North America Institute of Vihangam Yoga. Namaste, my name is Vijay Kumar and I'm the instructor for today. So we are in this journey of 6 weeks foundation workshop and we are making progress in transforming ourselves, developing interest and also the setup which is essential for our meditation journey, for our spiritual journey, for our transformational journey. So before we begin, we will remember our master, our guru to bless this occasion. So I request all of you to sit quietly and having devotion in your heart. We will remember Sadguru Dev. अखण्डमण्डलाकारम् व्याप्तं येन चराचरम् तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। सब देवों का देव है, परम पुरुष का रूप, बिना गुरु प्रभु जीवना मिले, भटकी रहे भव। देवों में गुरुदेव है, मूल पूजा गुरुदेव, गुणावाद गुरु रूप है, वर सेवा गुरु से। Welcome everybody. Before we begin, let us all do a group chanting of Om. We are going to do 5 times Om chanting. So all of us will try to sit quietly. Your backbone is straight. You're not stretching, you're not straining your body, but you are relaxed, yet your backbone is straight, relaxed and straight. And your hand is resting in Gyan Mudra on your knees. Your eyes are closed. You take the deep breath in and out. One more time. In and out. Just observe your breath, how it goes in and out. Now with this concentration, we are going to chant Om. We are going to do 5 times together. Unless everybody is done, please don't begin with the next iteration. So you may hear me, everybody else are on mute. So only when I'm done, you always start with me for the next iteration. Okay, so let's take the deep breath in and make the Om sound now. Oh. Round. The fourth one. And the fifth one. Next, we are going to do 2 rounds of Bhramari Pranayam. So those who are wearing specs, they can take it off. The Bhramari Pranayam is where you close your ear with your thumb and cover your eyes. You take the deep breath in and you make the humming sound. So let's take the deep breath in and make the humming sound. We'll do 2 rounds. Okay, you can relax. Rub your palms together. And apply it on your eyes. And you can slowly open your eyes. Okay, so we already covered the controlling mind lesson 1 and lesson 2. In lesson 1, we learned that how important it is to have a fixed time for something that we want to add in your life, something that you want to be very regular at. And we learn that from the nature also. Now, the nature is also always in discipline. There is earth always moving around the sun. It is also rotating, around its axis. Everything is happening in discipline. So we should also discipline ourselves. And anything that we want to add in our life, we must fit that in our regular routine. So fixed time and a fixed place. The fixed place is also equally important, because when you fix a place for certain things, then you get the benefit from 2 aspects. One, that that place becomes a reminder for you, because you have designated that place for a certain activity. So every time you go to that place, it acts as a reminder. But when it comes to meditation, for meditation, the place you choose to meditate every day, you create the spiritual atoms in that area. This is the whole reason why when you go to temple or when you go to any pilgrimages, you feel a vibration which is very soothing. You feel a sensation which is very purifying. So you will create the same kind of ambience if you choose to meditate at the fixed place every time. After few days or few months of meditation at the same place, when any yogi will come to your home, he will sense that there is active vibrations in that area, and he can sense that this place must have been used for meditation. So you activate your spiritual atoms in that area where you meditate on daily basis. So it is important to have a fixed place. It is only going to help us in our meditation journey. We also learned that we cannot persist on any effort if we do not protect and nurture our sankalp. Only when we keep reminding ourselves every day that I have got this human birth not to lead an animal life, but I've got this human birth to fulfill the root purpose for which the human body is gifted to me. So what is the root purpose of a human life? Why human life is called special compared to any other species? Because only in human life we have a secret 10th door, which is called Haridwar. We have a secret 10th door. This is the door through which you experience the divine, you experience the Almighty, you liberate yourself. So you have a door of liberation, you have a door of God realization in this human life. So the prime purpose of the human birth is to attain the union with Almighty. The prime purpose is to attain the never ending bliss, the never ending peace for the soul. We are in a journey of purification. The human life is all about purifying ourselves from what we were to what we want to become. We want to have a journey of purification. So it is important that we have the change in our habit more towards the purity. So our eating habits need to change. We also need to change the way we behave with others because we want to purify ourselves. Only when you purify, you become eligible to open the secret 10th door, which is closed by Kundalini. This secret 10th door is closed by Kundalini, and that Kundalini, which is a serpentine entity, is keeping the door closed. You need to awaken it. Only when you awaken Kundalini, it will leave the way for you to go beyond your body. And only when your consciousness goes beyond the body, it is then you experience who you are and who the Almighty is. So, Sankalp, we must remember that we do not want to, get your human birth go west. You don't want to waste this human opportunity. You must sit in front of Guru and meditate. You must pay attention to your behavior. Are you still a person of anger? Are you still a person of no patience? If so, then we need to inculcate those qualities in us. We need to improve our behavior, our speech, our actions. We need to become truthful in our life. The human birth is given for that, for purification. And that is the only way you will also improve on your sleep quality. This is the only way you will improve on your sleep quality also. Why? Because your sleep is disturbed only because our mind is wavering. And our mind is wavering only because we are not pure from inside. We are attracted towards the subjects. We are affected. We are affected by the circumstances. So we need to truly purify ourselves, not because we want to make the spiritual progress only, but we want to lead a peaceful and joyful life, which is not possible unless you purify yourself. Be truthful in such a way that you can make eye to eye contact with anybody. You have nothing to hide from anybody. If you reach to that level of purity where your eyes do not shake, if your eyes do not shake, your mind will not shake. Because what we learned is that the mind is always in front of the eyes when you are awake. What is the location of the mind? नेत्र अग्र मन वास है, जागृत में जग ज्ञान, मन मध्यम प्रमाण में स्वप्न कंठ स्थान. So this mind is in front of our eyes when we are awake. Wherever our eyes goes, our mind follows. So for controlling mind, it is very essential that our eyes are still at the focal point. And for our eyes to be still at the focal point, what is essential? The purity is essential. Only when you're pure from inside, your eyes will be static. Otherwise, when you look at a thief, when you look at a person who has committed mistakes, the first thing that happens is their eyes become shaky. Their eyes become shaky. So look at yourself. Are our eyes shaky? If so, what is the test that my eyes are shaky or not? The test is this: how long are we able to keep our eyes at the focal point? This is our litmus test of purity. And that is why we are supposed to begin with this. Only when our eyes start staying at this focal point, that means now we are ready for the blessings, for the divine blessings, because our eyes has become static here. So more you practice this, more you bring purity, because more you bring stillness of your eyes. The more your eyes get still, more you develop patience. The patience will automatically grow. More you develop forgiveness, more you develop all the righteous qualities. That is the beauty of this technique, because all you're trying to do is you're trying to still your eyes at the focal point. When you still your eyes at the focal point, all the righteous virtues will follow. They will all develop from within, be it patience, be it forgiveness, be it control on your indriyas, be it the non-anger, having the non-anger as your virtue, where you never get angry. You are having perfect control on yourself, control on your speech, control on your thought. Everything will develop naturally if you persist with the meditation. So have sankalp. Sankalp is the main thing, that no matter what happens in my life, moha, shok, chinta, bhram, karo sarvatha tyag. Whatever is a situation in your life, they are just a part of your life. Accept it, but do not deviate from the practice of Vihangam Yoga meditation, practice of Brahma Vidya meditation. So have sankalp and nurture your sankalp by constantly reminding that this is my prime purpose. Only when I meditate, I am going to bring change, the meaningful change in my life. Yeah. And that is also one of the ways to improve our sleep quality. More you meditate, more your sleep quality will enhance. Okay? So we covered in lesson 2 how to improve our sleep qualities. There we learned about the breathing technique 8-16-32 formula. We also knew that if we meditate twice daily, that is also going to improve our sleep quality. And we also learned that before you go to bed, about 20 minutes in advance, you set yourself, you know, away from all the gadgets, all the devices. All you need to spend last 20 minutes is with reading some kind of spiritual books. Okay? And then you have a quiet sleep with no attachments. Now, more you have attachments lingering in your mind, more your mind will wander. But once you spend 20 minutes of time with the spiritual book, your mind is purified and you get a very sound sleep after that. The other technique is when you go flat on your back, at that point of time, you can first concentrate on your breath. So we are going to learn a little bit about Yoga Nidra. Yoga Nidra is another aspect by which you purify your thought process and bring the quality sleep at the end of it. So to improve your sleep quality, Yoga Nidra is another technique. So we are going to mock practice today Yoga Nidra before we talk about the lesson 3, which is the complete setup details. What could be your setup around your area where you meditate? We are going to touch upon that today in lesson 3. But prior to that, I want you to practice Yoga Nidra a little bit. But we'll do that while sitting, not while lying down. We are going to do the mock practice. So I want all of you to fold your hand like this and relax. Just relax. Your eyes are closed. And I want you to follow my guidance. I want you to run your mind the way I guide you. So first of all, start noticing how the breath goes in and out. When you start looking at your breath, all the cells of your body relax. And when you relax your body starts healing. So to enhance your healing process, it is important to relax your body. Right now, we are going through that relaxation process. So look at your breath with closed eyes. Feel how breath goes in and out. Now with closed eyes, just feel your toes of your leg. Feel all the 10 toes in your leg. Starting with the big toes. In the right feet, the big toes. And then all the 5 toes in the right feet. Now the left feet, the big toes. Now all the 5 toes in the left feet. Now you feel your knees. First the right knees. Feel your right knees. Just run your sensation, your concentration, how it feels at the right knees. Now observe your left knees with closed eyes. Just feel how the left knees feel like. Now your both thighs. Just feel your thighs. Is it relaxed? Is it tensed? Just feel it. The moment you start feeling any part of your body, you start relaxing it also. So relax your thighs, relax it, no strain. Now you feel your waist. Just run your consciousness around your waist. Feel it, your waist, your left side of the waist, the right side of your waist. Now move on to your chest. Feel how the chest bloats up when you breathe in and shrinks down when you breathe out. Now you feel your shoulder. Is your shoulders strained? Is it in strain? Relax it. Relax your shoulder. How about your neck? Relax your neck. Your forehead. Just relax your forehead. No strain in your forehead. Your eyes. Your eyes are fully relaxed. Now feel your breath. How breath goes in and out. So with this much of concentration, you are very calm and relaxed for meditation. And when you are in the sleep, when you're preparing for the sleep, then after this yoga mudra, after this yoga nidra, you can flip to your left side, left curvet. So when you flip to your left, that is the pose where you start your sleep. So after you're done with yoga nidra, where you run your consciousness from toes to your head, when you run your consciousness from toes to your head, you are fully detached from everything else. That is the beauty of yoga nidra. And then you flip to your left and have a sound sleep. So these are the few technique that you can exercise few more days. And the most important aspect of sound sleep is to also give a fixed time for going to bed. So you must go to bed always at the same time, no matter whether it's weekend or weekdays. We should have a fixed time for going to bed, preferably 10 o'clock, not later than that. So 10 o'clock is the ideal time for you to go to bed. It is not too early, it is not too late. So even though you are busy, you have a lot of things to do every day, still you must have a cutoff time, you know, that from 9:30 you are cut off from everything. Now you start preparing for your sleep. So you start reading your spiritual books, you wash your feet, you go to bed, and then you use one of these technique, either the yoga nidra or the 8-16-32 formula, and then you sleep from your left side. This is going to improve your sleep quality. So every day, same time, 10 o'clock. If you make it a habit, early to bed, early to rise, you are definitely going to feel a transformational change in you very soon, just by changing this habit. So next week when we meet, I really want to hear back from you guys. How many of you have started sleeping early, let's say by 10 o'clock? Okay. So I want to really feel we should encourage each other by giving this feedback. So any of you who have started sleeping by 10 o'clock, you would please continue to do so. And next week, you have to give the feedback how it felt when you started going to bed early by 10 o'clock. I'm sure that by next week, if you really start following from now, by next week, you will feel a boost of energy in you, boost of energy, just because you changed your habit of sleep, just because you started getting very sound sleep. You will have a big change in your life just by that. Just experiment it for next 7 days, and we'll get the feedback next week when we meet again for lesson 4. So now we'll begin with lesson 3. Lesson 3 is about the complete setup. For controlling mind, it is important to have the setup not only externally but also internally. We need to have both set up perfect for our meditation journey. We'll talk about what is the external setup and what is the internal setup. The other thing that we also need to ensure is that we must have our practice under some kind of monitoring. It must be under some kind of monitoring because our mind is very cunning. If there is nobody monitoring you, you will slip from this habit of meditation because there's nobody who is noticing you. So there's nobody monitoring you. It's very easy for us to slip from meditation practice. So I highly recommend that, if you're living with your family, if you're living with your spouse, then let spouse be your monitor. So both of you, husband and wife, must monitor each other. Did you meditate? Remind each other, hey, today you did not meditate. Before you go to bed, let's meditate. So have some kind of monitoring in place. When you have monitoring in place, believe me, it is only going to break us out of our bad habit and put us into the right habit. So have monitoring in place. It is very important. Husband and wife can be monitor for each other. Also have the mentoring in place. Monitoring and mentoring both are required. How do you get mentored in meditation journey? You get mentored by ensuring that you keep connecting to this kind of session without fail. Only when you connect to this kind of session, we call it satsang. Only when you continue connecting to this kind of satsang, this will keep you inspired. This will keep you motivated. This will keep guiding you also by one or the other experience. One of you only will share some experience which will help others. So we need to be in touch. Every week, we must keep meeting like this. So after these 6 sessions are over, you will still continue to meet at 10:30, but in our bridge line. Now we have a weekly session going on in parallel to this 10:30 session. That today we have joined this session. After 6 lessons, you will start joining our main sessions. There also we continue sharing our experiences. We continue inspiring us with the different spiritual concepts, which is going to purify our thought. So keep connecting with satsang. There is absolutely no way out. If you stop joining any of these satsang, your mind will start getting impure again. It will start collecting impurities from outside, and you lose interest in your journey. So satsang is very important for us to be in touch with. So going further, what is the external setup? The external setup is this. that you must have Sadguru photo in front of you, because Sadguru is the reminder for you that you have learnt Vihangam Yoga technique and Guru is watching you. Are you practicing Vihangam Yoga? So Sadguru photo itself will also work as monitoring process for you. Your Sadguru photo will act as a monitor for you. So believe in this fact that when you have Sadguru photo in front of you, Sadguru is, keeping attendance of you. How many times you have come in front of me? Did you meditate this morning? Did you meditate this evening? He is keeping log of our meditation practice. If you have this faith, if you have this faith in your mind that Sadguru is keeping log of my attendance, then it will work in your favor only. So keeping Sadguru photo in front of you, keeping Guru in front of you is going to help you. So in your meditation setup, you must have Sadguru photo in front of you. What else? You should have white clothing, underneath. So on the ground where you sit, you should have white cloth, because when you have white clothing around you, then your concentration will be that much better. There's not too much of clutter in your area. Wherever you are sitting for meditation, there's not too much of clutter. It is neat and clean. The place is secluded, it is isolated. There are no too many visitors passing by when you are meditating. So it must be an isolated place where once you sit for meditation, you are undisturbed. There are not too many passers by to disturb you. Yes, it must be secluded place. The light should be all from behind. That too, it should not be too intense. It should be dim light. Dim light, but yet bright enough that you are able to see your focal point. Right? So you should have dim light coming from behind. That's the best. You have white clothing underneath. You have Sadguru photo in front of you, and the place is very tidy. Just like temple, you keep it like a place of God. So it must be very tidy, neat and clean, so that when you sit there, your mind feels very organized. When you sit at an organized place, your mind will feel at peace just by sitting over there. So this is the external setup. What is the internal setup? The reason we are not able to meditate is because our mind has some kind of fear, some kind of moha, some kind of attachment. Sorry. You have some kind of sorrow in your life, some kind of worries in your life, and all these keep disturbing your mind. So those golden 10 minutes when you sit in front of the master, please believe that now you have a caretaker in front of you. That is kind of internal feeling you have to generate when you sit in front of Guru. Please feel that when you are sitting in front of the master, no, it is all up to the master. You just surrender yourself to the master. You just surrender. Only when you surrender to the master, you will be able to meditate. Otherwise, your fear will keep running, your worries will keep running, your moha, your attachments will keep, drawing your attention to one or the other subjects. Your sorrow will always, your grief will continue in your mind. All that because you are not surrendering yourself. So when you sit in front of the Guru, you have to surrender yourself. So feel at ease under the Sadguru's shelter with no doubt on him. Believe that he is all potent. He has all potential to protect me. So at safe. Feel safe when you sit in front of Guru. So feel yourself free from all kind of fear, free from moha, free from sorrow, free from all kind of worries in life. Our Guru says, मोह शोक चिंता भ्रम करो सर्वथा त्याग अभय महाप्रभु को भजो देश काल सबला. So without any fear, without any moh, without any shok, those golden 10 minutes is you and the Guru, nobody in between. You and Guru. That is what is there in those golden 10 minutes. All you remember is Guru in your heart when you sit for meditation. So every time you lose your attention, you breathe in and then breathe out and start looking at the focal point. You say, Jai Sadgurudev, and you release your breath. So when you remember Guru and say, Jai Sadgurudev, your sense of surrender will again come back. You say, Jai Sadgurudev, and you leave everything on Guru. You have a caretaker in front of you, and you just concentrate on your focal point. So when you practice this of releasing everything of you, leaving it on Guru, when you practice this on daily basis, you will see that automatically you will develop a sense of peace within you amidst all the problems in your life. Problem may stay, but it will stop touching you. If you practice every day 10 minutes of surrender, 10 minutes of surrender. So this 10 minutes of meditation practice is what is not just the meditation practice, but this 10 minutes of meditation practice is the practice of surrender. You are surrendering yourself to Guru for 10 minutes. Just follow this formula for next few days. I can guarantee, I can guarantee in writing also that just in few days, if you practice this, the sense of surrender, 10 minutes morning, 10 minutes evening, this very sense of surrender itself is going to change your life. Just, just try it out in front of Guru. So this is your internal setup. We are going to practice meditation now. I request all of you to fold your hand together for Gayatri Mantra. In Gayatri Mantra, we are praying Almighty, the Supreme Being. We are saying, O Protector Lord, you are the base of life. You are the dispeller of darkness and sorrow from everyone's life. You are the bliss incarnate. You are the one who created this universe. You are the creator. You are the worthy of acceptance. You're the one who is most worthy of acceptance. I accept you. I pray to you. You are most divine. I pray to you. Please guide my intellect to the righteous path. So we do this kind of prayer through the Gayatri Mantra. Gayatri Mantra is a prayer by which you are glorifying Almighty and you are asking for righteousness. So with this feeling, we are going to chant Gayatri Mantra for 5 rounds. I'm going to chant the first round. I request all of you to close your eyes, follow my rhythm, and then you can join me for next 5 rounds after I give you the rhythm in the first round. Your eyes are closed. Om Bhur Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. One final round. Please feel surrendered in the lap of Almighty. And when we say Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat, you express yourself in such a way that you are extending your arms for the blessings for Almighty, from Almighty. And you're saying, please guide my intellect, my consciousness to the righteous path. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Now, I request all of you to start looking at your focal point. So your eyes are very static, just looking at the focal point. Every time you feel that your mind has diverted away, you say Jai Sadgurudev. You release your breath out and start looking at the focal point. We are going to do silent meditation. All we are doing is just looking at the focal point. In between, you can remember Sadguru photo. Should always remember Sadguru photo when your mind is at too much of restlessness. Remember Sadhguru photo and then start looking at your focal point. There should not be any motion in your body. Your mind will come to rest only when your body is at rest. No motion in the body. Your eyes are still looking at the focal point. You are observing at the focal point. You are observing at your focal point. Every time your mind wanders away, you remember Guru, say Jai Sadgurudev, release your breath, and start looking at your focal point. If you're wearing specs, you should take it off. This 10 golden moments, this 10 minutes of precious time, you don't want to deviate from the practice. You want to derive maximum out of it. So you truly put your honest effort in staying at the focal point. Don't let your mind deviate. Keep looking at the focal point with utmost sincerity. Make sure your head is not bent down, it is vertically straight. It is your sight, your eyes are horizontally straight. You're neither bending forward nor backward. You're vertically aligned. Now you can close your eyes and just observe your breath. We're going to conclude with the prayer of peace. Just observe your breath. हे प्रभु शांति स्वरूप हो, शांति शांति में शांति, शांति शांति जन शांति हो, पूर्ण शांति में शांति। हे प्रभु शांति प्रदान कर, दूर हो सर्व अशांति, देव सदा फल शांति में शांति, शांति सुख शांति। बोलिए सद्गुरुदेव की जय। With this, we conclude, and I open up for the question and answer. I really want to invite you to express if you have any challenges in the breathing practice, or any feedback, if it is bringing any change in your life. Okay, so one question was already asked before, that can I sit in Vajrasana while doing meditation? Yes, you can sit in Vajrasana also, but the best asana for meditation is Siddhasana. So in the beginning, it's fine. Whichever way you feel comfortable, your body should be at ease when you are meditating. So in the beginning, all we are trying to do is we are trying to adjust ourselves with the focal point. So your body should be in comfortable pose. So if you feel comfortable with the Vajrasana, it's fine to begin with Vajrasana, but slowly we should develop a habit of sitting in Siddhasana. Siddhasana is where the right feet goes on top of left, the cross leg like this. So you sit in Siddhasana and your hand is resting on the knees in this Jnana Mudra. So this is the pose, the perfect pose for meditation practice. Yeah. So thank you all. I really want all of you to improve your sleep quality and give us the feedback next week. Okay, please try to sleep by 10 o'clock. Yeah. Thank you.
Vijay, one quick question.
Yeah.
I registered for this free daily guided meditation, but I'm not receiving any emails. Like,
Okay.
what do I get the email or
no? So when you register, you will be contacted by a volunteer, and they will add you into the WhatsApp group, and that is where you will get the reminder.
Yeah, but so far I registered just after last week's session. So far,
is it?
nobody contacted me.
Okay, Sai, I will check with them. Yeah.
Thank you
for that. Yeah.
Vijayji, there are a couple more questions.
Yeah. So before, yeah. Soroj is asking, do we need to have empty stomach before meditation? Yes, it must be light belly. So in the sense, if you're very full stuffed with heavy meal, you will feel lazy when you sit for meditation. So not completely empty necessarily. If it is completely empty, it's perfectly all right. In fact, it is the best. It is the best to have the complete empty belly when you sit for meditation. But even though you have a light snacks, it should be light. You should not feel lazy. That's the whole thing. You should feel very light in your belly when you're sitting for meditation. Is it normal to feel asleep? Yes, this is a good sign. When you start meditating, why you feel sleepy? It is because your body was tired, but because you never got a good rest of your mind, because your mind was never at rest. So even though your body was tired, the sleep did not happen in you. So this is a good sign that when you are sitting for meditation, that means you're bringing your mind to rest. So it is working. The meditation is working for you. So if you're feeling sleepy, that means it is telling you that your body is tired. And that is why I'm telling it is that much important for you to go to bed early by 10 o'clock. Only when you have a sound sleep every day, you will feel energetic. There'll be a boost of energy in you when you have a very sound sleep in the night. And only then, when you sit for meditation, you will not feel sleepy. You feel sleepy only because your body was tired and you didn't let it sleep because your mind was restless. So when you feel sleepy, that means you have to improve your sleep routine. You must go to bed early. The other thing is you must finish your dinner at least 2 hours before you go to bed. So your dinner must be done by 8 o'clock, and that too very light dinner. Very light dinner. It should not be heavy. Very light dinner by 8 o'clock, so that by 10 o'clock you are all ready for going to bed. Oh wow! So Suryaji is saying he's going to bed by 8:30 and getting up at 4 o'clock. Oh, very nice. And Suryaji, I request you that in the dinner time, please just have as light as possible. Finish your dinner by about maybe 6 o'clock, 6:30, at most 7 o'clock. If you're going to bed by 8:30. Okay, it's great. Okay, thank you all. We'll meet again next week with lesson 4. Jai Sadgurudev. Jai Sadgurudev, everybody. Thank you.